Good evening. This is Ken at Tortoise Capital with a review of the weekend trading reports for October 8th, 2016. The market remains bullish normal. On an annual basis, using weekly RSI 14, we're in the middle of neutral at 58 out of 100. The lower end of neutral on the short-term look back, looking back 10 days, and using 10DX, low end of neutral. Price with respect to the 200-day moving average is 4.98%, so we're 3% above the sideways band. Slope of the 50 went negative. It's yellow neutral at minus 0.02. ADX remained distinctly untrending at 16.6. The risk index is the 30-period moving average of the VIX divided by the 10-period. The threshold between risk on and risk off is 1.0. That current reading is at 1.049, so we are into risk on. The risk Z is that number, 1.049, compared to the last 5,000 trading days. And looking at the average and standard deviation of that data, we compute the risk Z, the Z-score, and it's that is 0.48. You can see a 90-day histogram of that indicator showing that volatility has pretty much flattened out right here. Ordinarily, this would be a positive sign for long-term swings because of the volatility implied in this election. I'm not treating it that way, and I'm retaining my short-term orientation to trading until we get through the election. You can see the current holdings on the blended monthly rebalancing, with the next reevaluation due on or about 1 November, and these are the leaders as of Friday's close of business. And ETF2, the theoretical exposure remains at 100%. The model portfolio is at 100%. Here are the leaders in the 13 and 32 ETF portfolios, still being dominated by the internationals, Latin America, Brazil, emerging markets, Asia less Japan, and so forth. These are the leaders using the ETF Max, or the 1,000 ETF database. There's some coal, Brazil, energy have moved all the way back up to the top on really strong weeks, so greens across the board there, looking pretty strong. In the S&P 500, these are the leading candidates, looking at all 500 of the S&P 500 companies. Strength here in Consol Energy and State Street. Big give back in Devon Energy. This is the market health check. Again, you can see us still chopping around here in this sideways channel over to almost the last 60 days, less this one little dip and pull back. We're just waiting for tension to resolve. The slope of the 10 period is down and the 30 period is down, but still within this pretty nice narrow channel. If the river support here at 214 doesn't hold, next target I'm looking at is down here around Z3, around 209, 210. We'd have to see a close above 219 to be convinced of the long side. This is the ETF2 regional report. No change from last week. We should be at 100%. This should read 100% here, because all of them are on a buy signal. In the U.S., consumer staples and utilities are suffering. Only technology, financials, and energy are above average. Most everything in the U.S. is below average except for the small caps and then selected tech. Latin America and Brazil still strongly in the green, with emerging markets above average. Asia looking generally pretty strong except for Philippines and Malaysia. Europe has started to improve compared to the U.S. We've seen some give back here in the precious metals, but oil and commodities remain above the zero line. In ETF 30, seeing the same things again. It's the internationals, it's Brazil, it's energy, looking very strong. Big bounce here in Japan dividends and European financials. Green and yellow is unusual to see. And then you see emerging markets giving up a little bit of strength here, being white and green, along with these emerging markets as well. In the Dow, mostly red and yellow, so it's below average and well below average. Only a handful of winners: Caterpillar, Intel, and Apple. Big losers down here are Nike, Coke, and GE. Those are showing up on our deep discount value plays. Shifting to the daily report now. Plenty in the auto framer to choose from. A handful of channeling and overreactions and some 5DDs. And just a quick look at the Dow 30 Tactical and ETF 30 Tactical. And that's everything I want to cover from the weekend reports. We'll catch up on Tuesday's trade. This is Ken Long at Tortoise Capital. Keep your risk measured and powder dry.